All right, so we're back after our short break here at a Lifetime of Conversations with our interview with our buddy Matt from across the pond.
Hello
Back
again.
again. So I know I don't want to be a dullard, but we were talking about Civil War. I don't know what you guys are actually talking about.
Well, I think I do. I mean, because right here we're so polarized between our political beliefs and the woke people and the people that aren't woke, and there's so much stuff going on. It seems like everybody's at each other's throats. Is that what you kind of mean?
Well, what I've heard over here is that Texas is on the verge of like closing their borders, and like they've had other southern states sending them military capabilities, and by what's being reported over here,
Okay, so
obviously
that was the angle. I wasn't sure what you guys were actually talking about. I guess that it's not going to happen. I think it's over exaggerated. Like I said, it's a way for them to throw their hands up in the air and like, hey, listen to me.
Uh,
Because
when, but
listen, they get a lot of money, Texas, from
yeah, when stuff like this is reported on, I feel like it's just to distract us from something much bigger that's happening at the
mm,
time.
it's
yeah.
always that.
Or it's just news at the time and they just want to talk about it, or someone has enough pull to get their voice heard, and then that's what they use. It's fine. I mean, you could say that about a lot of things. I just wasn't sure if there was something specific when you guys were talking about it, because I was like, I don't really know what they're talking about. I mean, if we're going to Civil War, I mean, I got my guns ready, but I can't take
Uh,
on Texas. I mean, we need a whole lot of states, but
Texas is on our side. But Matt, you probably get more accurate news over there because I mean, our media here in the United States, they just straight out lie to our faces
I listen to
all
the
day
BBC.
long.
I love the BBC. I think it's
Yeah,
probably one of the best news networks in the world.
right.
It's so well, they have their own bias, but it's very minimalistic. And they are pretty. I mean, what's your take on the BBC, Matt, compared to, I don't know, whatever?
uh, it's
CNN.
another. I'm pretty certain that it's another me. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty certain it's owned by Murdoch, who owns most of the news outlets and
Rupert
newspapers.
Murdoch.
Yeah,
Okay,
Rupert
yeah,
Murdoch. That's the one.
yeah,
So
all
I,
right,
I I take it with a grain of salt, but I do with most news things. Like
yeah.
if like they're good to get like the information, but if you really want to learn about it, I would suggest you go out and find out your own information.
Do the research. Yeah, I mean, you know what? And now that you mention that, that's one of the biggest things that I think is wrong with today's society. Like, we don't research enough. Like, you can't just take anything. I saw it on TikTok. I read it on Facebook. That's not fucking even nearly enough.
No.
Go
Oh,
look.
I'm
I'm so
so
sick of
glad you
hearing
brought
that.
those up.
I'd rather listen to Chat GPT at this point. They're even more accurate than fucking some of these retards on Facebook. But even Chat, you would go and go, okay, all right, let me double check that. And then you look for some sources. Check Wikipedia. Not for nothing. People shit on Wikipedia. It's pretty good. And
I like Wikipedia.
it's mostly accurate, and it's come a long way. And this is something that's independently controlled by people that don't even get paid. They're fucking volunteers, most of
Yeah.
them.
That's one of the things. Like, you brought up a few social media sites. I've pretty much given up on social media. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
the likes of TikTok scares me. It really does. And I know you have a TikTok channel, and your TikTok channel is informative. It's information
Yeah.
that you figured out. But
Yeah.
the rest of it's just utter garbage. If you look at
Yeah.
the English and American version of TikTok, it's all just kids dancing and stupid videos of I threw my wife out after she cheated on me with my blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
If you look at the Chinese version of TikTok, it's all educational.
Yeah.
They don't have any of the shit that we have. It's all educational. It's
It's
And
like
like
tight shit, yeah.
would you blame that on culture, society, or just like the money that comes off of that?
blame it
Like,
on the fact that it's owned by a Chinese company. They just
Yeah.
seem to be
yeah,
trying to
yeah,
dumb down Western civilization by just giving us a bunch of mumbo jumbo on TikTok.
yeah, and we fell
Exactly.
for it. And that's exactly why I do what I do on my channel. Like, there's a couple things on there that I do besides my Did You Know videos, but I really would rather it be educational. If someone could learn something actually useful on TikTok, that'd be great, or that's not false news.
I'm sure there are some out there that are educational and worth watching on our version of TikTok. but it's just outweighed by the amount of stupid videos of like
Yeah.
the Sidemen. I was flicking through it today, and there was like the Sidemen were trying to do some sort of phone challenge where they had to flick a ping pong ball into a cup or something on a phone, and I'm like, how is that content?
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that what college is for? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it's unfortunate. You know, I
Like
did want to. No, God, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't even use Facebook anymore. I literally use it for one thing, and that is to figure out where I'm camping when I go LARPing, and that is it.
That's funny. Why that specifically? Like,
Because I go LARPing, which is live action role playing,
yeah, I got you.
down near London, a place called Empire LARP, and they post their map of where my tent is specifically meant to go, because like there's about maybe 3,000 people that go to this event.
Nice.
So
That's
I
awesome.
need to know where my tent is in my specific nation. So they
Yeah.
release the map on Facebook. I look at the map, and then that's literally all I use Facebook for.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
must have some Wi-Fi.
Well, I mean,
For 3,000 people, the Wi-Fi must be good.
You don't use your phone or anything. It's all fantasy based. So on like we start at about 6 o'clock on a Friday, and basically from 6 o'clock on Friday night till 3 o'clock on Sunday, no mobile phones, no technology. It's all literally just you like my kingdom that I play for are called Wintermark. We all just run around dressed as Vikings.
Yeah. I am Lord Ballsack for the
we-
weekend.
We are
Lord Balzac.
we are strictly not Vikings. We're gonna add that on. We are strictly not Vikings, but we are Vikings.
That's funny. Yeah, it's unfortunate that our, you know what, I don't know, we just ran with it with social media, and it got a little crazy. And it's like, you don't even want to talk about it because it's the same conversation. What I did want to mention, have you heard of Sora?
I have not. No.
Sora is the new Chat GPT's iteration.
Oh yeah.
Remember, I was showing you videos, Rob,
Right. Yeah.
where you type in something and it creates a 1 minute video of anything you type in. So how we have the image pictures now, which I've been messing around with crazy, you know, DALL-E or the chat image. There's a whole bunch of them now, but Sora is going to change everything, just like chat did. It's going to change the way we do video. It's going to change everything. It's going to make deep fakes like a whole issue, you know, not that it was before, but it's going to bring it out to the public. But if you haven't checked it out,
very scary.
I know, Matt, check out Sora. Even just watch a YouTube video on it.
Is it
just
look at SORA?
Sora or Chat GPT's video conversion. Like I think they call it Sora.
I've seen Chat GPT, but I've not seen this Sora. I'll have to.
It's still in a production phase where they're like still working out the kinks. They didn't release to the public yet, but when they do, and they will, absolutely, it is phenomenal. So this is where I'm in. I was kind of tangenting off, but the social media aspect that we're kind of changing this. We're being forced. Computers, AI is forcing us to change our society. People, you have, like we were talking about research, you have to research. You can't just take shit at face value anymore. How we used to joke, well, it must be true. I read it on the internet. Like, yeah. Well, there is plenty of true stuff on the internet, but you can't just be like, that's true, and that's true, and that's true. No, you have to kind of look, you know, go a little deeper.
Well, people tend to search for what they like. If it matches what they like as far as their beliefs, it's true, and they share.
Yeah, the share button. But even if you disagreed with something, wouldn't you want to know the accurate information of the disagreement? So you,
well, yeah, of course,
you know. But
yeah, because like George Carlin said, I do this really dumb thing. It's called thinking.
So, yeah.
You want to watch out for thinking.
Yeah,
that sort of stuff gets you put in jail.
Yeah, it gets you in trouble, right? Especially when the thinking turns into talking. They don't like that one bit.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome to North Korea, where we don't like to think.
We just love Kim Jong-un. Just love Kim Jong-un. Just love him. North Korea.
Matthew, what questions do you have for us as a Brit for Americans? Like I said, you know me. I guess as much as you can know me personally. Did you have any other I don't know, inquiries or quibs or?
Not particularly. You see, like you've known me for a long time. Most of my friends are American, so
Yeah.
That's
you know,
funny.
that would be the expensive thing for me if I was to go over there. It wouldn't necessarily be that I want to go and see all the sites. It's the fact that I've got you down in Florida, I've got Katie up in New Jersey, Kay over in Pennsylvania, Hero in Ohio.
Yep.
I've got so many people that I would want to go over and see over there that I couldn't do it in a 2 week visit over there. It'd have to be at least a month.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because like when you talked about it, like all of us were ready to put you up, then you don't see that often here in the United States. Like I don't have a lot of room, but you do as much as you could, right? But there are certain friends that are always, you ever have that friend that's always like, hey man, can I crash at your pad? And I'm like, look, man, I got a wife and child, dog and cat. I've got room. I'm sorry. Like
Yeah.
I had to say that more often in my life than I would, but there are certain people that you don't even question. You just like, yeah, absolutely. Come on over. You know.
Oh, no, yeah, it's the same over here. If any of them like were like, can I come over? Yeah, yeah, sure. I'll find a place for you. I haven't got much space, but I'll find a place for you. Hell, you can sleep in my bed. I'll sleep on the couch.
Yeah, I don't know about that. You know what? You're gonna sleep on the couch.
It would be a bit uncomfortable, wouldn't it? If you're like, I'll go and sleep on the couch. You can share the bed with the missus, okay?
Yeah.
That's
Well, that's what I'm saying. So like, there's always like these
Wow.
conflicting
That's a buddy.
interests.
That's a friend right there.
Uh,
yeah,
Funny stuff.
no, not really. I don't want to bring up any like topics that might get too heated. You see, like
Nah.
gun control and stuff like that.
Talk about it. Who cares? Look,
Yeah.
we don't filter. We're not monetized. We're not worried about that. Honest, real conversation is to me more important than anything else. And
Yeah.
because someone doesn't like an opinion, all they have to do is just not fucking listen. Like it's okay.
That's true. That's true.
You don't have to like it, but
Yeah.
it might make you think. Remember, we were just talking about that dangerous thing called thinking.
Yeah. Well, no, I was just thinking about the number of school shootings and just general like you had the Super Bowl recently where they were literally celebrating the who was it the Redskins that won.
No, the
Literally
Chiefs.
Sorry, the Chiefs. Sorry, that won. Sorry.
Mhm.
And they were literally celebrating their team winning the Super Bowl, and I think like 5 people got shot. Like
Yeah.
you've got to think to a certain extent. Like Manchester City won the Premier League last year. Do you want to know how many people got shot at their team celebration?
Yeah, but you
0.
you can't
It was 0, Dave. Zero people got shot.
Okay, no, I agree, but you can't undersell the fact that there are some serious football riots that happen in Europe itself.
But
They may not
how
get
many
shot, but people get trampled and stabbed, and
how many people die? How many people die?
well,
Very few.
I'm sure the number's up there. It just makes it easier with guns. This is the thing, and I think
The issue is so much easier with a gun. Why is a person's life worth 9? Like, I was talking to one of my friends over there. He could buy a bullet for like 10 cents or something like that.
9 mil is more like 28 cents now
Yeah.
with inflation price per bullet. It used to be 10 cents. I wish that was a great time when I could buy a box of 50 for $11.95. Now it's like $26, motherfuckers. But whatever.
Dave, I gotta bring my dog. Hey, you guys shot. I gotta dip out and take my dog to get her nails done.
All right, Rob, we'll finish up the conversation.
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll catch you
And
later.
here's the thing about gun control in America. If you want to get shot, go to the place with the strictest gun laws.
Yeah.
Sad. Down
Because,
here in Florida, people don't fuck around because everybody has guns. You whip a gun out, you're gonna get shot 100 times from every direction.
yeah, or at least the chance. There's more of a chance that someone's going to protect someone else than a place that had higher gun control. Yes. Okay, we'll go with that.
Okay, yeah,
We
that
mind
makes
our
sense.
Q's here.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
it
sense.
does. Like I said,
It shouldn't make sense. It's sad.
It shouldn't make sense like at all, but it does make sense.
I think it's also
Nice meeting you. Yeah, we're gonna do this again. I just got to split.
No, I'm more than happy to join for another lifetime of conversation.
Hell yeah,
Absolutely.
man.
Yeah, this is
It's
just our
been a lot
first.
of fun.
We'll finish it up. I'll
Cool.
just, we'll chat it out until the time runs, and then we'll definitely do this again. But
I'll think of some more good questions.
I'll come with some actual topics the next time.
yeah, it's no worries. I mean, that's why I said it's a good starter interview. It's a good taste tester. You get the feel, you get the flow going, you see how it goes, But
Dave, see you later, Matt. Great meeting you, buddy.
Nice to meet you too, Rob.
all right, Rob, check
I'll
you
catch
later.
you later.
Yeah, so we'll continue on. I mean, we got another 10, 15 minutes. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know we've done one podcast on it, and it is polarizing. Even here, it's polarizing. And it's tough because you talk to the wrong people and they just have such a negative opposite attitude that they're never going to see your side. And it's almost vice versa. Now,
Yeah, no, I understand that over there it's part of the bread and butter over there, isn't it? Really,
it's the culture. It's the culture. It's what created America to be America. Like this is why I think people feel so strongly about the Second Amendment, is because, I mean, not to slight against Britain, but it was kind of the whole point of us coming over here and like, yeah, we're going to do this now. And then Britain's like, well, no, we don't agree with that. And we're like, well, we're just going to fight back. Kind of that old school revolutionary attitude left over,
But one of the things that I know this is probably gonna piss a few people off, but like documents can be changed. You know that, right? Like I know it's like an important document, and it's like your Bill of Rights and stuff like that, and they can be changed. You don't need to keep them the way that they are.
Sure. I agree, but
like the right to bear arms was back when it was a musket, and it was like you could fire maybe 2 rounds a minute.
Right. It was also the time when people were protecting their land and their farms and their home rights, and there wasn't technology and surveillance and police, and yes, I get it. But the biggest thing I think that we have when it comes down to it is that it's easier to make a law and almost impossible to take it away. It has always been the thing. They can ratify, they can add little quibs, little pieces into stuff, but it's not easy to take it away. And
yeah,
it's
because
okay.
There are some laws in England that not even the police know about. Apparently, it's illegal to stand outside of Buckingham Palace with a fish and act suspicious.
Any fish, like
just any fish, yeah. It was either it's illegal to stand outside with a fish, or it was to beat a rug outside of Buckingham Palace. I can't remember which one it is. I know for a fact that it's illegal to gamble in a library.
Okay. See, but I guess in most cases, so this law may exist, but is it enforced? Right? They're like, well, no, we don't really enforce it, but it's there. It doesn't change the fact that it's there. The difference is something like someone walking to Buckingham Palace with a fish is so rare that they don't care about. But the fact, like a thing like the United States with firearms is so prevalent that it has to be addressed. So they have to still take in consideration that it is a law, and it is a law that people practice, and it is a law we have to enforce and follow. But I mean, to nutshell it, I don't know.
Well, I'm just looking at some of these weird ones now. One that I didn't know is that according to Metropolitan Police Act of 1839, Section 54, it is illegal to fly a kite in public.
A fucking kite. I'm just imagining, like, I mean, you'd be arresting a lot of children, because I'm not too many adults fly kites. So, I mean, there'd be a very small percentage. There's a lot of kids, getting thrown into paddy wagons and such over their kites. But that's the point.
Like, the 1313 Act of the statute forbidding bearing of armor means that members of Parliament are not allowed to wear suits of armor inside Parliament.
Yeah. So this is an actual law that's still in practice.
It's an actual law that's still in practice.
So, but then why don't you change your laws? See, it's the same thing. Like it's easy to make them, really hard to take them away. It's actually easier to sweep them under the rug that you're beating outside of the palace illegally than it is to just get rid of them. Just like forget about it. Just we won't use it. We won't talk about it. People don't even know about it. Who cares? I think,
And then there's the classic of killing a swan because they're all owned by the queen.
yeah, that one's
But
funny because you guys actually, I've heard that a lot, which is funny.
my old theory of the fact that I had a theory, right, that the queen that the queen used to use swans and turn them into smoothies, and that's how she was staying alive forever.
The fountain
And
of youth made of swan juice.
yeah, it was made of swan juice, and she was stuck in hospital for a fair few weeks before she died. I don't think she was getting her swan juice.
No, yeah, they would. I mean, there should have been like a call to swan arms. Wow. Now, where did that even come from? Like that, I've never heard that. Like, we don't. Americans don't.
All the swans in the world are owned by the queen.
Right. Like, where did that even come from? Why?
I don't know.
Right. So,
I think she also owns all the deer as well.
but this is my point. So does this go back all the way, like let's say hundreds of years ago, when there was more land rights, right? Like hundreds of years, where like you're out there and you were hunting deer because your family was starving and you're a peasant, but you can't because you have any permission from the queen, like.
This is the killing of a swan because it's owned by the queen goes all the way back to the 12th century because apparently people were just catching them and eating them, and the swans were dying out or something.
Okay, I get for conservational angle with like sustainability, like you definitely don't want to, overtax the population so we can't still eat swans. Like you know how I feel about hunting. I agree with it, but there's always balance. But at that point, instead of controlling it in a manner that was actually, sustainable, they were just like, no, it's the queen's, you can't touch it, it's illegal. We're done. That's it. But I mean, it's hunting is the same in Europe. Like that you apply for a permit, you apply for a license, right? And the license is given out by the baseline. Let's say I'll use black bears for an example. In Pennsylvania, they only give out a certain amount of black bear licenses because there are so many black bears. Now they realize that every person is not going to get a bear, but if they did, they wouldn't be able to sustain the population if they gave out too many licenses. So they restrict the license. You have to get it early, and then once they run out, that's it. You have to wait till next year. Mm-hmm. Now, does that stop people? I mean, poaching will be around for all of human existence, but it is a way to sort of cull and create some sort of, control. I mean, you need control,
Oh, yeah, but I mean, in England, we don't have any bears or wolves anymore because we hunted them to extinction.
Wolves are a great example. It's like, it's funny how we do that. We're like, oh, they killed all our sheep and our livestock. Like, just kill them all. We'll just kill them all. And then we won't have to worry. Like, right. Okay. I like to think we don't think so much like that anymore.
I've heard rumors that they're planning on trying to reintroduce wolves up in Scotland.
Sure. Yeah. They already did it at Yellowstone here.
Oh, yeah. And it fixed everything. I saw something like apparently the deer population was getting out of control and it was just they were eating everything.
Yeah.
So they just introduced wolves and then like everything got better.
Yeah. It basically forced the elk to go back into a migrating. They were getting too comfortable. They had no predators. So they were overtaxing the land, overgrazing, overpopulating, and they were running out of food. So what did you do? You introduce why the wolves were there to begin with. It's kind of the same reason with bison, that they introduced. There's a small presence of bison in Europe too. Hell, it's some of the reasons why they want to bring back the fucking woolly mammoth and put them in.
Could you imagine how cool it would be to have woolly mammoth walking around again?
Well, you think that, but it's not like we're going to see them in Africa. They would be in Siberia. They would put them back in the habitat that they would be.
They're on about putting them in Scotland. I might see him. Might see him. You won't, Mr. Florida.
Yeah, we don't need him anyway.
You've already got your own dinosaurs down there.
But like, and that goes back to the whole, just because you can doesn't mean you should. But at that point, I believe that reintroducing, like, what do they call it? They call it de-extinction. De-extinction work. I think it has purpose for something that we were the cause of. There's no proof that we were the cause of woolly mammoths, right? Like, it could have been climate change. It could have been the ice age. Like, they'll talk about some shit. But when it comes to things like rock doves or like the original like pigeons all came from a rock dove, and we pretty much decimated the rock dove population. Or the Tasmanian tiger is another one. Like, right, we're the reason that it pretty much went extinct because they killed them all. So,
Well, I mean,
you know,
there's no guarantee that if they bring back these creatures nowadays, like woolly mammoths as an example, if they bring them back, what's to say that they'll carry on being woolly mammoths? They may change, and then just all
yes,
their hair falls out, and then
yeah,
all of a sudden you've just got pretty much giant elephants wandering around in Scotland
yeah.
and Siberia and stuff.
They would be hybrids anyway. They would be hybrid from Indian or Asian elephants. So it's not going to be a pure thing. And that's one of the hardest parts. We're not there, genetically. But I still think we'll get there. Just like I said, just because you can doesn't mean you should, but we will get to the point where we can. And
Yeah,
I
well, I
think,
mean, just general science and just genetics and stuff. It's all advancing so quickly now that it's just crazy. Like if you'd have told me like a year ago, I'm not even sure how long GPT's been around, but I hadn't heard about it a year ago. If you told me that there was going to be something in a year's time where I could type in the basic summary of like a scientific report that I wanted to do, and all I had to do was press enter, and then this thing is going to type it out for me,
yeah,
man, I'd have got straight A's in high school.
yeah. You know what? It did the speed of it definitely caught everyone by surprise, especially the educational aspect of it when it comes
I
to
mean,
schooling.
it's not just that; it's like technology as well. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
like
But chat is a good example because it affected everyone because everyone can use it. It's different when a new MRI machine comes out and it's the most amazing technology on the planet, but only doctors use it. You have to go to a hospital for this specific thing. But if you had this special
but
machine in your house
but
that could,
but like mobile phones, for example,
yes, yes, good example.
like 50, well, maybe not 15 years ago, like 20 years ago, if you'd have told me that I was going to have, like, I've recently picked up one of these Google flip phones. So I've literally got a phone that has a bendy screen inside it.
Yeah.
Like, and like I can access everything. Like I could access like anything in the world on this. And like if you'd have told me that 20 years ago, I'd be like, no, well,
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's the progress. That's the change that we face. That's why I brought up Sora because I was talking about chat before everybody else was because I sort of follow as much of the new tech as I can. And when you catch something that really you just if you follow it enough, you're just gonna go, oh yeah, that's gonna work. Oh, that's gonna
didn't
take.
didn't Elon Musk like partially help make ChatGPT?
He was on the board for OpenAI in the beginning, and there was a lot of conflict, and it was supposed to be the whole reason they called it open was because they wanted it to be nonprofit and open sourced because they really don't even know how it works. Do you ever like look up how it actually works? Like they don't even know. The people that made it don't even
No,
know how it actually
no.
works,
Well,
which is
they had
kind of scary. Yeah.
those two AI robots that they put next to each other, and they started having a conversation, and within like 15 minutes, they'd made up their own secret language that
Yeah.
I
Well,
just couldn't understand.
wasn't that was the yes, I saw that. The one crazy chick with the clear head.
I think it was her.
Yeah, it was her and another one. I did see it. But sure. I mean,
Yeah.
we're
I, for
still not
one,
there, but
say hail the great Google overlords.
I I do too. And it's okay, right now because
They're gonna make if they still keep us around, if they're gonna make our lives easier, and they keep us around, and they decide to just wipe us all out.
yeah,
All hail the Google overlords.
yeah, okay, sure. I mean, then again, we're generally not the kind of people that do anything nefarious. We're not out for, malicious intent, so we're just trying to live our everyday lives. So it kind of just works. But there are people out there that try to hide things or that are trying to use it for malintent. And, there's always going to be those people. There's always going to be the atom bomb to the nuclear power plant. Always, and it's okay. But you got to look up Sora because I can't wait till it comes out because I want to talk about that because I have plans to do so many amazing things with it. Just
Yeah, man.
it will make content creation so much more fluid and simple. Instead of looking for stock video, you can come up with stuff. You can use your thinking that we talked about that was so dangerous and have a literal system create your thoughts. because it's not easy to edit. I mean, I've been working with my new program and editing and doing all kinds of stuff, and it's fun, but it's time consuming. It's incredibly, you know, when you see these YouTube guys, it's not easy doing this shit when they put videos and content together and takes and scripts, and it's hard. It's time consuming. You got to really love it.
Another thing is just being able to talk for the length of time. I tried my hand at streaming a little bit earlier in the
Oof.
year.
Yeah.
And it just trying to like trying to keep people entertained when you've got like two people in your stream and you know who both of them are, and you're like, I
Yeah.
want people like, and then you got the people who are coming in who say we're trying to sell you art and stuff, and it's like, you said I've got one person in here. I don't want art for this. I don't need art.
I don't need art. I'm playing a fucking video game. Yeah. Yeah. But no, you got that on the money. And that's, I think, even with the podcast, we don't go live. This is all recorded and we don't edit very much. If it's maybe a little edge of an end here and there, but we don't edit the stuff we do. It's as unadulterated as it possibly can be. But it is hard to continue to go and have a conversation and come up with new things to talk about. But in a way, I think we need this. We need more conversation. This is why I love doing the podcast with Rob and having people on, because people scroll and screen and look and like and tap and touch, but we don't talk enough. We need to talk more.
Yeah, definitely. I was just thinking, I couldn't see any kind of stats or anything it'd be interesting to see just like how many people this reaches out to. If you could send me some sort of details or something, that would be
For what?
really
Wait,
cool to see
what are you talking about?
for the podcast.
Oh, the analytics, you mean?
Yeah, well, not necessarily. Just like seeing like where your listeners are and stuff like that would be
Sure.
really
I mean,
interesting.
I could tell you right now. I mean, for the most part, it's the United States. I'd say it's about 89% United States. We have like 2% Japan, a little bit German. I think there's a little bit of Sweden, mostly men, unfortunately. We're not against women. I just don't think that we get enough
Talk about is interesting.
Yeah, what to them. And I want to have women on. It's just, like, yeah, but everyone has, and we're also typecasted, we're age casted. So our general age bracket is between 35 and 55. But there is a slight 17 to 25. And the problem though is when you start really looking at analytics, you get caught up in the numbers, man, and you can't do that too much. Like, if I wanted the podcast for all of us, for me and Rob, to be super popular, I could just talk about certain topics and I could snipe and cherry pick certain things that are very particular that I know people are going to listen to. But that's not really what I want, or what both of us want. We just want to have the conversation naturally, and doesn't always work for everybody. But
you want to have a conversation just like we are right now, and you want to share that conversation with other people. Yeah, I understand.
That's it. It's a simple. It's the purest form. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there. The content is overwhelming for what people can ingest these days, and gathering people's attention is not easy. And it's okay. I look at it as for posterity. At this point, we're leaving a mark and we're letting people voice themselves in the most natural way possible that they want to voice themselves. People always ask, I don't really want to talk about this. I'm like, well, then don't talk about it. I'm like, no one's going to force you to talk about stuff. I feel like people feel obligated, is what I'm saying. Like they.
Oh well, yeah. You bring me on for whatever. I'm not bothered what I talk about. If you ever want me to come back on, if I've been entertaining enough.
You looking, whether other people find you entertaining, it doesn't matter to me. I hope they do, but either way, I always enjoy conversations with you, and I know Rob did too, because I could tell he was engaged. He was chatting with you. He had questions, and this is what brings people together, and I think what fixes the misunderstandings and the I guess all the misinformation. How people you talk about it. And that's okay. It was good. And again, this is what we talked about before. This is basically a starter interview. We just wanted to kind of introduce you, get a feel for how the conversation would go. If you enjoyed it and you want to come back, we will absolutely have you back on. So, yeah.
Lovely.
So we got about 2 minutes to go, so we can, we can wrap it up. If you have any final thoughts, we can get those out of the way.
No, I'm good. I mean, I was out to go back to the earlier conversation where we were talking about the people that we'd have at our dinners. I've been thinking about a few more.
Oh, okay,
Like
okay.
so you got like J.R.R. Tolkien,
Okay, don't know
uh,
that one.
the guy who wrote Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Tolkien.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. George Lucas would be another cool one to have.
All right.
Mike Myers.
Yeah.
I would love to have a dinner with Mike Myers. I'm a
I heard
huge Wayne's World fan. So
I heard he's difficult. Like maybe to work with on set, so I don't know if that's difficult in the sense of a personal thing, but
I don't know.
but
I
that's
heard the same.
interesting.
I heard the same thing about Bruce Willis as well. But don't want to really talk bad about him because he's not very well at the moment. But I heard that he
Yeah.
wasn't a very nice person.
Yeah. You know what? When it comes to actors, they're actors, man. They're still people. Just
Yeah, that's
because
true.
they act a certain way, everyone expects them to be the way they act, and it's like, you know what? You're not like that in real life either, and nobody's getting on you. We
It's
are who we
true.
are. But well, we're gonna have to wrap it up, and I really appreciate you coming on, Matt. Thanks so much, man.
Welcome. You're welcome.
Yep. So we will definitely catch you next time. Thanks for listening to A Lifetime of Conversations. I am Dave, and Rob has departed for the evening, but he will be back again. All right, Matt. It was good talking to you, brother. We will talk to you again.
Nice talking to you. Bye, everybody.
All right, man.